So hello, my name is Lowell, pronouns he, him, and this is the first of two sessions where we're trying out Tomorrow City, which is a new dieselpunk game coming from Osprey. It is written by Nathan Russell. I ran Hard City, I think, was it last year or the year before? I can't remember, but that was a noir game that uses the same system. Also from Osprey, and originally did this with a cyberpunk game that I know Rich has run on the Open Hearth community called Neon City Overdrive. And this game is part of the Open Hearth Gaming Community, which is an online gaming club slash community that you can find out more about at openhearthgaming.com. I'll have a link to that in the show notes. We're doing this to try out the system. I'm going to be teaching the system today. We're going to be doing some tweaking from some pre-gens. We've got kind of a setup incident, and then we'll be playing out the story. We will be taking breaks through here. We may hard frame depending on where we get to towards the end. But the idea is that we can play with these characters, see what this game feels like, and try out a little story with that. So I am, with that in mind, going to get into the cats, which is our sort of setup introduction for what we're doing here. So in terms of our like touchstones that we have for it being kind of diesel punk, BioShock is mentioned, BioShock Infinite as well. Straits of New Capenna, the latest Magic the Gathering, not latest, but one of the more recent Magic the Gathering sets. Of course, Fritz Lang's Metropolis is another one, Crimson Skies. There's a whole host of things. Diesel punk is sort of post steampunk. It kind of takes the fashion idea look of the interwar period, melds it with a lot of things, and in this case is a very sci-fi alt history version of things, which I'm going to be talking about what that looks like. Our game is set in the titular Tomorrow City. That is a giant city kind of on a spire. It is over the ruins of old California. We are in 1984, but a very alt history 1984. We have just come out of a extensive series of mad science wars, essentially our kind of World War I, World War II wrapped up. We don't have the full details on that in the book, just essentially a destruction of the world with radium bombs and robots and that kind of thing. And those wars have ended, and people are coming back now from that. And this is one of the cities of the future over the ruins of Old Cali, as it is called. So imagine a giant spire that goes up to a flat disc, and the city is perched atop that disc. And the city is circular. There are neighborhoods that are kind of in that circular thing, and the different neighborhoods actually move and turn within that. So we've got that as the kind of design layout. Hey,
Hey, sorry, I'm really sorry.
no, that's okay. That's
My
okay.
mind.
So I'm just kind of going over the basics of the setup for our setting for this. So in the center of this Tomorrow City, there we've got the better neighborhoods. Kind of as you get closer in the center, we've got the Great Tower. We've got, of course, air vehicles, but also lots of trams and trains and things going in various different directions throughout here. This is all run by a computer called Mother. There are some people who dislike the idea of artificial intelligence running this city. So there are people that fight back against that. It's the city that has automatons, robots, that kind of thing. And of course, there are various ministries in a very 1984 style that take care of things through it. So we've got a little bit of this weird diesel punk futurism and dystopia as well here. On the underside of this great big platform is kind of built down and is the undercity. Scaffolding, half-built places to live, that kind of old illegal hangars, black marketplaces, and things like that. It very much reminds me of Midgard from Final Fantasy VII, where you've kind of got the high city and then the kind of the undercity. But this undercity is actually built on the underside of that disk. Down below is a horrible radioactive swamp marsh that everything gets dumped out into. And then beyond that are the badlands of this. So that's kind of the sort of the physical setup. Some of the themes of this game are about survival. It's about war. It's about mad science. We have veterans that have returned from these wars and they've been changed. Some of them have been doped up on various augments. Some of them have had limb replacements. They're trying to adjust to their new lives in this place. Uh, we also have a weird science phenomena that affects the city, and it is called the pattern. It is a weird crack into a kind of a chaos realm that comes out. The geometry of the city itself seems to draw it in, and it reacts against it. In some places, they try to create barriers to break down its kind of fractal pattern, but it creates aberrations. Sometimes these are people that get infected by the pattern. Sometimes these are monsters. There are people who are aberration hunters who deal with that. So that's a secondary thing that's going on. So we've got mad scientists, robots, dieselpunk cybernetics, all kinds of things going on in this. You are Revs. Revs is the sort of the PC archetype, and it kind of stands for revolutionaries, but it means that you are action characters in this game. And in the case of what we're going to be doing, you are kind of freelance fixers working for a patron, and we'll put that patron into play. She will be assigning you a mission, though we're going to start in the middle of something going terribly wrong at the start, just so you're aware of that. But that's going to be the general feel of this. So approach, what we're going to be doing today. I've got a set of 5 pre-gens that I put together that you're each going to choose one. They have a kind of a theme to them. You're going to be doing some tweaks to those character creation wise. Once you've got that set, then we'll do introductions, and there'll be a phase where you're going to create ties to the other characters. So we'll have a little bit of that relationship building. And then we'll kind of start in the middle of something going wrong, just so we can try out the system, get a chance to play with the dice and all of that. We'll take breaks probably on the hour, depending on how things go. We'll usually take a 10 and then a 5. And we'll see where we get to today. Again, this is a two-parter, so we'll see how long this takes. I have no idea right now, and I'm a very, very bad judge of that. We're going to try and play into the tropes. This is a simple mission. And this is a game like Forge in the Dark, like PBTA and things, where when you go to the roll, we're not doing, discrete, like I'm going to do 8 hit points of damage. Is that your rolls are matter. They're going to do big effects. So that will affect kind of how the speed and pace of the game is. In terms of tone, this is noir. It has the weird science. There's some, the kind of uh, excitement that comes from the diesel punk, from the cool, the chrome and things like that. But there's a certain darkness that's underneath. We've got a technological utopia, air quotes, and a dark underside to it. It's not, I would say, grim, but I think a little bit gritty would be the tone that I would be leaning into, just the way that I run. But we'll see how we go. Uh, with that in mind, I want to talk about safety. I know that all of you have played in games using safety tools, but I want to go over what we're using today and how I perceive those. We have lines, veils, and ask first. That's our sort of baseline. A line, I consider anything that's just not a topic we're going to have in the game. It's not a theme we're going to cover or anything like that. A veil being anything that if it were to happen, we would fade to black, or it happens off screen. We might reference it, but it doesn't get on camera. It isn't something that we're dwelling on. And then an ask first is just something that I would like a check-in before we do this particular topic, before we do this kind of thing. And those kind of are in varying levels of that. This is a living document. So as we're doing character creation, I'd like you to look through and make your choices on there. Before we get to introductions, I'll go over what our choices have been made in terms of lines and veils and ask firsts. And if you need to add something to this list, feel free to do that. I want to stress that I go over these safety tools in some detail because it really pisses some people off when they go and watch my videos and they get angry and they leave me nasty comments, and I love that. I drink your tears. So I just want to know that I'm going to belabor this for another 5 minutes. The other couple of things that we use is we use the X card. The X card is kind of our active safety tool. If we hit something that maybe suddenly in the moment is feeling wrong, is feeling uncomfortable, if something feels problematic, if it feels wildly off tone, if it feels objectionable, we can X card it, either saying X card or marking that with the gesture. You don't have to defend your choice with X card. You can explain it if you want, but you're not required to. The only question we might ask is about like how far back do we need to stop and kind of rewind to reset that. The X card is also good if maybe we need to stop and recalibrate. One thing that might happen is maybe we're starting to head towards something that is a line or a veil that we've established, and maybe we haven't quite picked up on it. In that case, doing the X card to say, hey, I think we're heading towards this. Let's stop and reframe. That's a good place to do that. For me, the X card is a kind of a vital interrupt tool, a useful one throughout for things that we don't catch with lines and veils. And then lastly, second to lastly, we have a romance matrix in case characters want to do romance subplots and things like that. We got 2 sessions, but in case you want to have that with NPC PCs, I see everybody's filled that out. I appreciate that. We always mark that level of comfort. But the real last thing is our open door policy, which means that should you need to step away, should you need to leave for whatever reason, a physical, emotional, whatever, do that. Feel free to do that. It'd be great if you could tell us that you're coming back or not coming back, but you're not required to do that. You don't have to defend that choice. It's just that, you shouldn't stay if you're not feeling up to it. The add-on to that is if we get done with this session and you walk away and you go, that is not the game I wanted to play. That is not a game I enjoyed. Then you should absolutely feel free to just say, I don't think I'll be back for session 2. You don't have to defend yourself, explain, justify, anything like that. You should never stay in a game that you're not enjoying. I have lived too long for that to be a thing. So that's always something that I want to put out there for everybody. I'll also point out on our safety and resources tab, I do have a Pinterest board, as I mentioned. There's also a link to a PDF up on Google with the various gear things. We may not necessarily need to go to that, but I just thought I'd point to that. And then Robin has put together a roller for Neon City Overdrive that we're going to be using. I think I've got a room generated there. And I'll talk about like what that means in terms of system mechanics later on. So very much appreciate that, by the way. Thank you, Robin. All right. So let's move on to our 5 archetypes here. I should probably pause here before I go any further and ask if there are any questions. Okay, I get to talking real fast, especially when I got a new game and I'm still kind of figuring it out. So if I get to talking too fast, please stop me. We have 5 archetypes here. If you look at them, there are some things that you'll see that you're going to be choosing. You're going to be choosing a drive for your character. You're going to be picking two flaws for your character. I've got a list of 4 examples. Uh, I've got some numbers set there for Moxie, which is kind of your luck points. Grit is kind of your health, those kinds of things there. What you will see down below is each of you, for each of these characters, has 3 trademarks. And a trademark is a gathering of traits. So, for example, if we look at our first character has the social class drone trademark, and then has caring, and then gargoyle. Gargoyle is kind of a vigilante trademark. Uh, Trademarks, you'll see, have a number of edges underneath them. So, like drone has strong, endurance, repair, and so on. When you go to roll, you're going to be generating a dice pool. You'll be generating a dice pool with 1 action die. You're always going to get 1d6. And then you can pick a trademark that you have that you think is applicable. And trademarks are the broadest thing. So usually you can find a way to make one of your trademarks work. That'll give you another die. If by any chance you have an edge that you've chosen underneath that trademark that would apply, that would also give you another die. If you have 2 edges that would apply underneath that trademark, then you would get 2 dice. So it's kind of a walk down of that. Then other things like position and circumstances will give you additional dice as well. Once you've chosen your character, you're going to have those 3 trademarks, and then you're going to get to pick 3 edges. And you can do that at the start, or you can do that as we play. Say, oh, okay, now we're making this kind of roll. I think I want to put my edge in this. So that's what those are for. You have a set of advantages for each of the characters as well, 3 of those, and then there's some equipment things there. So our archetypes, we've got a drone who's a vigilante, got that as our setup for that. The next one is our sort of riffraff, street urchin, gadgeteer kind of character. The next one is our Skyriser. This is someone who lives in the upper echelons of society, the literally the heights of the place. And we've given them Scrapper, and they're broken, so they've had some incidents where they've probably been repaired through mechanicals or cybernetics or things like that. Scrapper might mean that they're a mercenary for hire. It might mean they're a boxer. There are all kinds of ways that you can define that. The next one is our Wastelander, meaning that this is a person who has come from the outside and has settled in Tomorrow City. And I've made them our genius gumshoe archetype there, so our detective. And then lastly, we have Windborn, which are people that were raised on airships, traveling, but have eventually come here to Tomorrow City. And I made them charming, but they're also someone who hunts aberrations. They use their abilities to hunt down pattern monsters and people who've been infected and things like that. So that is our 5 sort of general archetypes that I'm going to let you tweak here. So I'm going to go in order of people joining. Jolene, is there one of those that appeals to you more than the others?
Yeah, the Windborn.
Okay. I like it when you have a strong sense right
I
away. So
came in
okay.
with an idea of a former sky pirate, and then that said sky pirates. So I was like, well, there we go.
Okay. So our Windborn Charming Aberration Tracker. Uh, Kale, what about you? You are muted.
Of course I am.
Okay.
Uh, hmm,
And you can even say, I have a couple of ones that I like. So,
yeah. Um, I think maybe I think I'll take the urchin, the riffraff.
Okay. Excellent. Brian, what about you and your cat?
I'll take the Wastelander.
Wastelander, okay. Robin, that leaves two. Is that okay? There's a one of those that you can work with?
Yep. I wanted to be the Skyriser.
Okay, excellent. So I'm going to close out the drone, sort of hide that column there. Do that. And I'm going to pause the recording while I sit here awkwardly while you make some choices. So that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah,
As you
I
were
think he's
saying.
yes. I think he's got I guess a little bit of a bolt hole or sort of a flop house where he he crashes a lot. Some of the other sort of urchins that he knows spend time there as well. So it's sort of a rotating cast of characters that might be there at any given time. It's certainly not his own his sole hideaway.
And how are you picturing the sort of gadgeteer gadgets thing? Is this just him having picked up some things? Is he a brilliant inventor? Is he just clever about fixing things? How are you imagining that?
Yeah, I think he's very he's very curious, perhaps too curious. So I think he's taken apart lots of things, right? He's just sort of if he finds something interesting, which he often will, and interesting is there's a broad definition of interesting here, I think. Anything that he finds intriguing, he might be taking it apart, he might be taking it home, and just sort of tinkering with it. And so it's more of a he's now seen enough different things and taken enough things apart that he can kind of work his way around gadgets with relative familiarity.
So are we talking a teenager? Like what kind
Mm.
of age are you imagining here? Or a little bit
No,
older?
I think a little bit older.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So young 20s,
Yeah, something like that.
that kind of thing. Like, did he lose his family? Is his family still out there? Did he run away? Like, what's that sitch?
Yeah. I think that it's I think his family's still out there, but also in a sort of not in a rough spot. So he
Mhm.
may he may be in contact with them, but they can't really support him much. They struggle to support themselves. So he got kind of old enough that he just sort of moved out on his own. Um,
Yeah, I like that. I saw you chose absent-minded and a little too curious as flaws. Mechanically, if you call on those to cause you problems, to essentially give you more dice against you, that's how you regenerate your luck points, your moxie. Um, and drive we have because it's a role-playing detail, but in long-term play, that would be an XP trigger or how you get XP. Excellent. I think that gives us a good sense of who you are. And we have that there. We'll come back to you. And once everybody's introduced, we'll talk about the ties. So you might want to look at those that are on the character creation tab. Next, Robin, tell us, introduce yourself, your pronouns, your character, their pronouns, and what you've chosen for yourself.
So I'm Robin. My pronouns are she, they. My character's name is Nova, and her pronouns are she, they as well. Um, so my character was born pretty wealthy, Skyriser. She was then she fought in the war and she basically almost died. She should have died, but someone kind of put her back together with a lot of metal. She's basically more metal than flesh, which gives her a frightening appearance. And she basically she was sort of shunned from the city. So she now lives in the underside and does like hit jobs and stuff like that. She has to make money doing this so that she can pay back the person who put her together. And it's kind of like they aren't friends. This guy like basically did this so that she would be indebted to him forever. And possibly maybe has like a kill switch or something programmed into her, so she is indebted to him. Basically forever, I guess. Yeah, and she's really good at fighting.
When we see her, like, what are you imagining we're going to see? Like, in terms of the metal, in terms of the flesh versus the artificial, what are we going to see?
So when she's just walking around, she'll have like a sort of a cloak and a hood to sort of hide her appearance. But her face will be like just very like cyborg, like you know, one eye is like completely mechanical. She's got like metal plates all over. Her body will be also like she doesn't really show that to anyone because it's like quite hideous and mostly made of like scraps and stuff like that. But I imagine she must have some like cool weaponry like built into her. Yeah.
Yeah, you've got those thumpers that are the under advantages that give you some nice hand-to-hand stuff there that you can pick what kind of tags they have. So what is the recurring nightmare?
Oh, this will be what happened in the war that I haven't thought through exactly what the incident was, but something almost killed her.
Okay.
In a very traumatic way because she was basically in pieces.
This person who put you together, are you the only one they've done that to, or do they have multiple people that they've got strung along like this, or is there some other biz that they're in?
I imagine that this person has done this before.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe there's a few.
Okay.
I think I happen to be one of the more successful ones.
So there were some failures, some worse versions. Okay. Okay. Awesome. I think that gives us a good sense. I like the drive there that you picked. We'll come back and talk about ties here in a bit once we get everybody introduced. Again, one of the assumptions is that all of you know each other and have worked together when we come in with our patron here. Let's come to Brian. Brian, tell us about your character.
I'm Brian, he, him, and I'm playing Mo Block, he, him. He's a private investigator who, came to the city as an outsider, and, combination of his intelligence and his kind of outsider's perspective has made him good at, digging up secrets and also occasionally, busting through social barriers that a non-outsider might have more respect for. And he, tends to even dig in a little bit more than the job necessarily requires to satisfy his own curiosity and his own personal code to make sure, a lot of times you're working for the highest bidder. And so that might be who is paying his paycheck, but he's probably going a little extra to make sure the less fortunate or don't get screwed over by the secrets he uncovers.
So his code is not necessarily about finishing the job; it's about doing right by people.
Yeah, I mean he's not going to try to screw himself over by not finishing the job if he can help it, but like some abusive husband is having him dig up stuff on his wife, he might let slip to her or her lover or something some information that helped them to escape ahead of him. But but then he goes back to his boss and gives him the information. He just doesn't tell him about the the little extra work that he did.
How old are you picturing him? 30s, 40s, older?
Probably 30s.
Okay. How long ago do you think he came to Tomorrow City from the wastelands from outside?
I think less than a decade, but like
Okay.
maybe more than 5 years, somewhere in that.
Yeah,
Like
enough time to settle in.
enough to, yeah, he knows his way around the city now. He's not totally new.
Why did you come here? What was some circumstance forced you? Something happened? Some heartbreak? Somebody called you here on a job and you stayed? What do you think that was?
I mean, I think to some extent, people who are out are trying to get in. So if they have a,
Okay.
yeah, I think there
Yeah,
must
so
have
you
been.
got
He
lucky.
got sponsored somehow. He was able to. He helped out someone from the city who was out. And
Like
you
a
know,
ship goes down and
earn,
a rich kid you
yeah,
help back to
earned
there.
earned a favor and managed to, yeah, get
Okay.
sponsored in. And
I like that. That gives a good sense of you. All right. And finally, Jolene.
Hi, I'm Jolene, she, her. I'm playing Dahlia Ivanova. Uh, she's a former sky pirate from the Wastelands that has left that life behind her. Whether or not that's entirely willing, she is not yet sure, but she basically came to this city I think looking for revenge. She's trying to hunt down who screwed her over in the last, you know, job.
Mm-hmm. How long do you think she's been here?
Oh, I'd say like 2 years.
Okay.
I see her as like mid to late 20s.
Uh, Tell us about the relationship that you have with this aberrations, with the pattern and that badness.
Ah, it's a confusing relationship because she's like, what the heck? Why does this keep happening, basically? And it's like, what's going on, mostly? She isn't, she has no clue why it happens, why this, she just assumes it's bad luck. Uh, but like something she's always having to deal with. And she's like, what the?
But she knows how to do some things with the pattern, right? The we've got that fractal blade. Do you think,
Oh, do we? Oh, I
yeah,
gotta look that.
yeah,
Sorry.
under advantages?
Yeah,
Is does she think that that's part of the pattern? Does she think that's something else, or does she
hmm.
try to ignore? What do you imagine that?
Let's That's just pretty cool. Obviously, like she realizes, hey, there's something more here. Are they? And she's questioning if they're tied together somehow. I think that's like a recent thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
ever since like the betrayal basically
Okay.
is like this started happening more and like the aberrations happened like, not as often, not as frequently, but I think they're more frequent ever since she's been able to summon this cool blade.
And what was the betrayal? Was your ship shot down?
Oh
What was
yeah,
it?
no, she was totally shot down by one of her allies, I think,
Okay.
or supposed ally.
All right.
Or no, I think better yet, basically, it's like the sky, I guess the sky police, where
mhm.
like, she was just ambushed completely, and it was clearly like somebody tipped them off.
Okay. Yeah, somebody sold you out. The Ministry of Peace got some sky ships up there. Caught you. You managed to get down
Hmm.
and make your way around in here.
Yeah, and it sucks because like I miss my freedom, but it's kind of hard to do that here.
And I think we can read your kind of your diplomatic immunity. We can kind of revise that to being like honor among thieves, maybe kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, like big big name in like the underbelly.
Okay. I dig that. I dig that. How old?
Like I said, mid to late 20s.
Okay. I like that. I think that gives us a good sense of who you are. That I love that picture, which is of course from Crimson Skies. That's
Yeah.
one of the
I've never played the original. I've only played High Road to Revenge, but
okay.
High Road, I miss they should make more of those
I
games.
I have said that for many years. They should also make ones that don't have aren't entirely filled with bugs and crash on your PC every time you try to start them. Let's come to detailing our characters' ties. Basically, you're going to develop two ties. These are the important relationships that your character has to the other characters. And I have there on that character creation tab some examples, but you can also come up with your own that you might think of. And we'll have everybody do one and then go around and do a second one. And we'll do that same order. So Kale, you're in first chair there. Is there a particular tie with one of the other characters that you can imagine that you'd like to suggest? You are mute.
Every time, every time. Uh, I was thinking that maybe I met Mo while investigating the Southside Slaughter. Um, the sub question being, what was that? I think I'm not entirely sure. I was more thinking about the motivations. I think probably I was in there sort of more as an aftermath, trying to figure out, what happened, what was left around, what and I don't know if Mo had more of an actual investigatory angle on it.
Mo, are you okay with that?
Sure.
Maybe it had some kind of automaton gone wrong or some mad science thing that drew you in. Uh, uh, Cricket, does that seem reasonable? Okay,
Yeah.
that gives us a connection. You've worked together. That's how you first met. That kind of thing. Uh, Nova, let's have you do one of your ties.
I did not have one in mind, so I'm like reading them, trying to.
Sure, please.
I feel like my character might be like quite a bit younger than everyone else. I was thinking someone could be like a parent figure to me or like mentor type thing.
Makes
who
sense
would
for
make-
Dahlia or Mo, I think, of the two.
I think Dahlia, like you have that sort of criminal background as well. So I think that would make sense. Or it's also like because you have a criminal background, you're very different from my real parents, who are just, straight up citizens in the city. So yeah, that's cool. You're like a sort of like a mother figure to me.
Okay. That I like. Does that could work for you, Dahlia?
Yeah, totally.
Okay,
It's like,
awesome.
no.
Uh,
Stick
all
with me,
right.
kid. You'll go far.
And then Mo, let's have you pick your first one.
Uh-huh. I think that I don't trust Dahlia.
Really? Okay.
Trust a pirate?
Okay. Dahlia, you good with that?
This is perfect.
Okay. So you don't quite trust Dahlia, our sky pirate. That's cool. Dahlia, what about for you?
Uh, if you're cool with it, Brian, would you have spurned my advances in the past?
Sure.
Because you don't trust me, so how do I feel about them now? I'm still into them.
Okay.
It's like he turned me down?
Nice. Nice. I love it. And then Kale, what would you like for your other tie?
Um, I was considering, if this works for you, Robin, I was considering that perhaps Nova has a bad habit that I cannot tolerate. And my thought was that um perhaps she's just a little overly strong, like that maybe she hasn't settled into the sort of remade body yet and tends to destroy the things that I'm like the delicate things that I'm trying to figure out. It's like, "No, don't step on that," like that kind of thing.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay, awesome. And then Robin, what do you want for your other tie?
Was anyone else in the war?
Don't think we established anybody else as being
Hmm.
explicitly in the war.
Okay. Mm.
Probably did some war stuff. Which war is this?
This is
The Long
the
War.
long war that
Okay,
just
but,
ended
like-
a little while ago.
Do I have a real world frame of reference for that? Is it World War One-ish or two?
Basically, it's they kind of the suggestion in the
said,
book
okay.
is it's from World War One up through the early 80s, kind
Oh,
of a
wow.
long running global conflict of mad science and such.
Oh wow. Okay, I didn't know what time it was supposed to be set in, so.
I think because I already have that tie with you. I was thinking maybe I
Oh, yeah, that's
I
fair.
once saved someone from a scrap with a serum brute. Maybe that could be with Mo. And how would you have reacted
Sure.
to that? Like,
Uh, yeah, definitely grateful. Yeah.
Yeah,
Does
that
it
seems
work?
okay.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's other complications, but yeah, for the most part, just like, thank goodness you were there.
Cool. Okay.
well, and there are people that have been artificially enhanced as Nova has been, and then serum brutes are people that are on essentially these super soldier drugs that were given to soldiers in the Great War towards the end of it, and that this whole industry in that in the city, and some people get hooked on that, and some people have bad reactions. So a different kind of transformational science there. Mo, what do you want for your other tie?
Um, think, Cricket, how do you feel about us both hating the Ministry of Science?
Sure.
What is
I
it
don't,
that
yeah, I don't know why
makes
yet
you?
exactly, but I think
They are the ones that handle technology and robots and artificial
I
intelligence and
I mean
developing new weird
we're
stuff.
both curious, and so I think they hold their secrets too close.
Yeah,
Nice.
that makes sense to me.
And then Dahlia?
Sure. If you're okay with it, Cal, can I be secretly in love with you?
Sure.
Yes. Why haven't either of you acted on this? Either of us acted on this.
Hmm.
Is it that if it's secretly in love, is it that you haven't acted on it, Dahlia?
Well, it says, why haven't either of you acted on this?
It's
I think it's more fun if, like, what's it, like the constant flirting but never, like, the moonlighting of it aspect, where it's like it was great when they were flirting, but then, and neither of us wants to, like, give up what we have in case it's just a game.
that feel good?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So, again, to remind you, you are going to be working for a patron. We'll establish who she is in a moment. We're going to take our first break. We're going to take 10. We're going to come back, and I'm going to throw you into the middle of a scene. and so that we can try out the dice and get used to that before we get to the actual sort of mission at hand. So we'll take 10, be back, and continue on. So the Orchid Club is beautiful. It's well appointed. It has lovely balconies looking out onto the city, and it has a raging fire. So tell me, Cricket, this Rakuda cube that you and your group were here to get away from the Belfonte gang and the Collector, where is it right now in the room, in this crowded club that is on fire? Like, where is that cube? Has it been dropped? Is it in someone's hand? Is it in a table in the middle? Is it in a fish tank? Where is it? Has it rolled under the bar? I can't hear you, weirdly enough.
Turns out the headphones don't work well, they're on backwards.
Oh, fair enough.
Right. So what I was saying is, I think it's under lock and key in like a display case behind the bar.
Okay.
Right? Like,
Absolutely. So we got that display case behind the bar where the cube is. It has been kind of held there for someone, and now there's this showdown. Nova, tell me, how did this fire start, and where is this fire going on? Is it at the doors? Is it at the bar? Is it at the balcony? Is it somewhere else?
It's on the dance floor.
Okay, so somehow the dance floor has caught fire. How did that happen? Was it an aberration? Did somebody throw a Molotov? Did something get spilt?
Yeah, maybe it was a Molotov.
Okay, so that Molotov has been thrown. The fire has caught. We've got the two groups standing down. Tell me, Mo, the Belafonte crew, were they the ones that were kind of sitting casual here? Or are they the ones that kind of charged in on this scene?
I think we found out there also after the cube, and so
Okay.
we were trying to race them to it.
Right. So you both arrived here where the Collector is at to start, and so the Belafonte know that you're involved. They're kind of, as this fire has broken out, people have seen the cube. The camera has panned over and zoomed in on that. You are placed there. Belafonte crew is there. The Collector and his guards are there, and there's that holding of breath. What does the Collector have with him that is maybe a little worrisome in terms of personal defense, Dahlia?
A Tommy gun or
Okay.
whatever the fancy version of a Tommy gun is.
Yeah, absolutely. One of you'll see one of his crew like pop open a box and pull out essentially the equivalent of a Tommy gun.
Can it
Sure.
be pops out of his chest
Absolutely.
like in COPS?
Absolutely. This is an autonomon guard pops out and we've got this going on. Now, normally we would roll for initiative, but we're not going to worry about that. We're just going to kind of go around and see what people are doing. This is a game where, you are rolling. I'm going to put some tags in the chat here. Crowded, on fire, fish tank, balcony, I'm going to misspell chandelier, just telling you that right now. Oh, so badly misspelling it, but I've already written it in the chat, so I have to live with it. Those are tags. those are tags that might be negative tags or positive tags to affect. Now, I've mentioned before that what you're going to be doing, building up a dice pool, 1 action die plus bonuses, and there's a little like rundown on the die rolling thing, adding action dice for those tags and position and things like that. Here is the trick of this game. You are also building a danger pool, meaning that there may be bad circumstances that are going on, and each one of those will potentially add an oppositional die. So you're going to roll your pool of dice, and if you look at the die roller, you see the action dice versus danger dice on that roller. You're going to roll a pool of dice, and you're going to roll a pool of danger dice, and the danger dice are going to knock out matching dice on the action dice side. And if there are if there's a 6 danger die that doesn't get knocked out, that is kind of left there, that increases essentially a clock on the scene called pressure. So just telling you kind of some things that are going on there. So Cricket, where are you in this room? The flames have licked up. People are shouting, crowded. You know, you hear some people, yelling, "Get the cube! Get the cube!" What do you do?
Yeah, so I think I was sort of had seen the cube and was kind of idly, moseying up to the bar when suddenly, the Molotov lands, the Tommy gun flips out of the chest. So seeing all of that, Cricket is diving over the bar to get behind it and try and get close to the cube and also get some cover from the Tommy gun.
Okay, so I think this is essentially a role to kind of avoid danger and position yourself correctly. So we got 1 action die. What do you think is your appropriate trademark? That would work.
Yeah, I think quick is the right thing here.
Absolutely. And so that gives you another die. Do you have an edge that fits with that?
Yes, I have gymnastics checked, so I'm gonna go with that as well.
Okay.
For the vault.
Yeah. So that feels like 3 dice for your action dice.
Yep.
I think because this room is on fire, we are going to give you a danger die to be rolling against. And I don't think necessarily have any gear that will help.
I don't think so.
I think at this point, people are kind of in isolation from one another. So I don't think you necessarily help right now. So you can go ahead and roll those 3 dice, and what minus the 1, and what'd you get?
So I got a 3, a 5, and a 5, and then a 3 on the danger dice.
Okay.
So a partial success.
Partial success. So I think you will get over back behind the bar there, but I think that you will see that the bartender is essentially pulling out a bat that kind of pulls a ripcord on it, and it starts sort of shaking. And it looks like you've gotten away from that situation, but this bartender may be a problem here. Seem fair?
Yep.
Okay. Let's come to Nova. Nova, what is your position in the room? Where are you when all of this breaks out?
So when the gun comes out of the guard's chest, Nova immediately like sort of pounces on him, like one hand on the gun, the other on his head, and it's like trying to take him down.
Okay, perfect. So a leap across for that. What? Yes,
Brawl.
you have brawl. So
that's
you've got
edge.
so base die, trademark, scrapper, brawl is another one. Do you have any gear that is appropriate?
Not really. No, I don't think that stuff
Okay.
helps.
Well, actually, you do have those thumpers. You could
Right.
ask for an extra die for those.
Can I just always ask for an extra die?
If you're punching people and stuff, yeah.
Oh, all
Maybe
right, I will get a 4th action die.
Okay. This is a little more dangerous, so I'm putting 2 danger die in the pool. So roll 4 against 2.
Okay, that's a partial success.
Okay. Are you more interested in getting this weapon away from him or just getting him kind of knocked down?
I think I'm more interested in the weapon.
Okay, so right now you have pushed him back, thrown that guard back, and you have got a hold of the weapon, but he's still up. He just doesn't have the Tommy gun right now. Now you will notice that on the danger dice there, we have a 6 that is sitting there unmatched. That means that I go over to the PC tab and I change that pressure number to a 1. When it hits 6, bad things happen. So that's kind of our clock on the situation there. Does that seem like a fair result for a partial success?
Yes.
Okay. We come to Mo. Mo, I don't think the situation happened exactly like you were hoping it would.
No, this wasn't the plan.
What do you want to do? We
I
got
think-
the Belafonte, like the Belafonte lieutenant, his goons
Yeah,
with him. Got these guys. What do you think?
I think I want to try to if I can direct the crowd to just kind of panic in the direction of the Belafonte crew to give my crew time to deal with the collector and get the cube.
Interesting. I like that. So I think that the crowded tag that we have on the scene is going to work in your favor there.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll give you a die for that. What do you have trademark wise do you think is appropriate?
Oh. I haven't marked any of my talents, so I have a pretty good idea.
Does it more feel like a benefit for being a wastelander or more benefit for being a gumshoe on knowing how to handle this situation?
Or genius.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. I think I'm leaning into the Wastelander,
Okay.
and I'm just yelling at everyone like a wild man. And
That feels fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't think there's necessarily any of the edges that will help you, but
No.
we'll give you a die for the trademark. So we've got 1, 2, a situation gives you another 1. Anything else that you think would do you think your obvious outsider applies there?
Not really, because it's not him.
Look at you not taking that extra die. So
Yeah,
that's
no,
3
I don't think
dice.
so.
And I'll tell you another mechanic here. All of you have Moxie. Moxie refreshes at the end of for friend at the end of this of both sessions. It'll refresh unless your flaw comes into play, in which case it'll refresh for that. You can always spend Moxie to invoke a second trademark, or to change the value of a die. There are a couple of things you can do with that. But right now, looks like Mo, you're sitting on 3 dice. And I think you're hitting up these gang members, so I think the danger die is 2, so 3-2 on the roller.
Okay. Success.
Look, you full success. So what happens? What do we see on screen? We know that the lieutenant, they're kind of trying to get over there, and what does the crowd do? Do they push him out the door? Do they knock him over? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean that's the idea. Is they're coming this way, but the whole crowd is moving in the opposite direction, and they're just kind of cut up and getting pushed back.
Getting pushed back. They're trying to get to the need to get to that cube. Dahlia, where are you in this chaos?
I think so. We had Cricket was getting close to the cube.
Dive behind the bar.
Dive behind the bar. Nova was just dealing with the Tommy gun automaton chest,
Yeah.
and Mo was just leading the crowd to cut off the
The Belafonte boys.
Delafontes. Okay, I got the Della part right. So I think, and there's a collector, right? Or is he
Yeah.
behind the bar?
The collector is there. He has, his bodyguard has his Tommy gun taken away, and he's probably got another crew with him. And he's probably shouting, "Get the cube!"
I think. Uh, I was on the dance floor. But now there's a fire. So
Oh yeah,
yeah,
it is on
I think
fire.
I want to do. I gotta use that chandelier somehow. So I
Okay.
gotta swing on the chandelier over to try to Three Musketeers that over to get the cube.
Okay. So yeah. So chandelier for a die. Another die for the base action. What do you have?
Windborn work? I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Oh, my
about
sky pirating
oh
type
yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
you have to work the lines, that kind of thing. That
Yeah,
seems fair.
totally.
Okay.
Pilot
Uh,
doesn't make sense for this. I don't
right.
know. No, I'm gonna say no.
Piloting the chandelier.
Not really. There's a lot of stuff that goes into piloting. Swinging from chandeliers, not
Maybe a
so
little.
much.
But that gives you
Three,
base
right?
die, trademark, chandelier die. So let's say 3 to 1. 3
Okay.
dice action, 1 die danger here.
Okay. Do I? All right. Nope.
So you will,
Wait.
yes.
No, wait. No matter what, it's still 1 to 3 is still bad, right?
1 to 3 is still bad. You could spend Moxie.
It would still
Unfortunately,
be like a 1 to 3 though.
yeah, because you take it up to 4, it would knock that out. So I think you're at a miss here. So I think you will leap up to the chandelier, and I think as you
This is
are
perfect.
pivoting over, I think there is that sound. This is not particularly well constructed, and I think
Or
we see
somebody
you.
shoots it out.
Oh, I'm also good with that.
Yeah.
Essentially that one of the desperate Belafonte boys puts a shot in that as you fly over and you will crash over by the dance floor now where the fires are.
Yeah, now I got to deal with the fire and a shattered chandelier on top of
Yes.
me. So
So I'm actually going to deal. Normally damage done is you do 2 damage. And you take that off of your
hits.
hits. Yeah.
So I'm down to 1. Right?
Yep.
Perfect.
Once you go
Ouch.
past that, you'll start taking injuries and things, which will cause problems and add more danger dice. But yeah, you've smashed down onto that chandelier, comes down, crashing. You look up, the fire is right there. Let's swing back to Cricket. Cricket, you got behind the bar. You see this bartender drawing at the thing, and then you hear like the shouts of the crowd, and then the sound of the chandelier crashing down.
Before I do anything, what does mastery do on a roll?
Mastery allows you to re-roll a die after you've rolled.
Okay. So I could have used that on my last one, but did not
Now we
check.
know. Yes.
Now we know. Good. Okay. I'm not well equipped to deal with a bartender with a scary baseball bat. Hmm. Okay. So I think what I want to try and do here is really just I was going to be I was hoping to be more subtle about this, but I think I'm going to go for a more of a smash and grab approach. I would like to spend a moxie
Okay.
to have a I mean, maybe call it like some like brass knuckles or something,
Mhm.
something hard and sharp, essentially, that I can just use to attempt to shatter the glass containing the cube and grab it.
Absolutely. Spend that moxie to free action. And you've got those knuckles that you'll pull out there.
Wait,
Like
sorry.
hammer knuckles or something like that.
Yeah. Is current the like my current moxie? Is that how that's supposed to work on the sheet?
Yeah, moxie. The
Okay.
moxie number should be permanent, and then current moxie should be how
Cool.
much you have. Yeah.
Okay.
So you'll get one die for
Yep.
yourself, one die for the gadget that you're going to have here for the scene. Seems like quick is
Going
what
for
you're
quick. I'm trying to just get it and get out of there. So yeah.
okay. So that looks like 3 dice. Anything else you think is appropriate?
Oof. No, I think
Okay,
that's pretty
that
much it.
that is fair. So let's have you roll with 3 dice against 1 die. This bartender is not a particularly skilled combatant. You're not in the middle of a fire or anything.
All right. Nope.
Okay. So pressure goes up to 2. So Cricket, I think as you go to smash and grab, as you go to hit this, I think that there is a trundling sound, and Nova has knocked back one of the collector's 2 people and has gotten a hold of their Tommy gun, but the collector's other person has rushed over with a clanking of metal legs. And as your hand comes up to pop to smash this thing, it reaches out and it grabs onto you and it lifts you up. And this automaton servant has you in its grip right now. Does that seem fair?
Sure.
Nova, you've got the Tommy gun. You push this one figure back. The collector is kind of trying to get to a safe space. There's still that fire, but you also see Cricket just got grabbed up. What do you want to do? You're mute.
How far away am I from Cricket?
You are a move away from Cricket.
A move away. Okay,
Yeah,
so
easily done.
I'm going to so I have the Tommy gun, I think, in my hands. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna throw it at the arm of the automaton to try to like sever it.
Yeah. You have your massive
thumb
strength, and this is a big gun thing. Yeah. Uh, what do you think is the appropriate tag for that?
Well, does Thumper give me just like one?
I don't think Thumper will give you if you're throwing this. I don't think give you one, but I will give you one actually for the gear itself, since you are using an object to do this.
Oh, like the Tommy gun gives me one.
Yeah, it's a piece of gear. It's an object you've grabbed. You took that last time, so I'll give you a die for that.
Interesting. Could I use my brawl edge as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so that'll give me 3 action dice. Let me just look at the
So
other
that'll be
tags.
actually so Scrapper, Brawl, the Tommy gun, and Base means 4. I do think it's
Oh.
2 against 4,
Okay.
unless you have something else you want to add on to that.
I don't think so.
Okay, let's have you roll that.
Ooh, success with 1 boon.
So you will fling that, and you hit it right in the arm joint, right where you know it is, and it crashes through that, and that arm cracks, like twists, and this automaton drops Cricket. What do you want as an extra cool thing that happens?
The arm that was holding Cricket also has like a gun attached to it that now Cricket can use.
Okay, yeah, the arm has like one of those little palm things. It comes flying off into your arms, Cricket. I love it. So yeah, you've got that automaton sparks coming out of it, of course, all of the classic things as it's trying to reach for that. Mo, You've driven the crowd out. The Belafonte boys are for the moment held. They're going to come back in a bit, but right now you've got some clearance. The fire has gotten, let us say, more intense.
It's not my fault.
Okay.
Right now, the foes that you've are there's a one-armed automaton, another one, the collector.
Yeah, I don't want to mess with the automatons. They seem big and strong.
Yes.
I don't really have like a weapon, but I got a pocket full of old knickknacks. So there's something in there that I'm holding in my pocket, so it looks like I'm holding a gun. And I've kind of tried to sneak up on the collector. And while his two automatons are occupied, I'm gonna try to threaten him.
Okay.
And convince him to,
come up on him, run up, got the apparent gun in your pocket, get the drop on him. What are you saying to him?
Just stand down the robots, or they might win the fight, but you're not going to be around to enjoy the victory.
Nice. So what do you think is the trademark you're using here?
This is a gumshoe move here, I think.
That feels like it.
Yeah, especially because I mean my gumshoe trench coat is critical part.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we'll give you one die for gumshoe, one die for base. Since you
Maybe I guess
an
maybe I
item,
should be. Sorry,
I'm going to give you a die for your item too. So we're at 3.
I wonder if I should phrase it as like, how do we shut off these? How do we shut off the robots? So I'm interrogating.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if that's your
Specifically.
tactic.
Yeah.
So we'll give you another edge for that. So right now we're at 1, 2, gear 3, 4. So I think 4 on 1 is what I believe we're reading here.
Okay.
So he feels the poke in his back, and he'll say, "Laurel, Stanley, stand down," and you will see them kind of turn and start to disengage from like violent activities. And he says, "This is not over, Gumshoe. The Belafonte boys are right there. You're not getting anywhere with the cube." Dahlia.
Yeah, I'm in a bad place. Yes.
What do you want to do?
I want to crawl out of this broken wreckage of a chandelier, but now surrounded by fire.
Yes.
So this isn't great.
No, you can see from the flames that the Belafonte boys are coming back. Cricket is dealing with that bartender back there, but has a gun arm now. And the automatons have stood down as Mo has gotten the drop on the collector.
All right, so everything's going great for everyone else.
For everyone else, just a lot of fire here.
Right.
This is fine. This is fine.
Yeah, I gotta get out of here.
What do you want to do?
I guess, I mean, it's boring, but like I gotta like try to leap over the flames.
Okay.
Maybe I'll like charge into the Belafonte boys that are still trying to advance. Come
Okay.
back.
Are you kind of leaping out of the fire to surprise them? Are you trying to like drape
Yeah, no,
yourself
I'm
on
leaping
something?
I'm leaping out of the fire.
Okay.
Surprise them, looking like a fiery angel.
I like that. I'll let you use the fire as an add-on tag there, though I think the danger dice are still 2.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'll
I think
give
I'm
you 1 for the
using
fire.
Aberration Tracer for this.
Yeah, if that's your kind of fighting style, I'm good with that.
Yeah, I mean that seems to be, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not
So
shooting, so
yeah,
it's just the 1. 1 for doing it. Aberration Tracer, fire. Can I summon the Fractal Blade and get a tag from that?
yeah, absolutely.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we got 4.
Yeah. So what do we see? When you do that, what do we see? Because you're
I
coming out of
think
these flames with something weird.
like basically, I don't know. I want to see it as like situational dependent, but as I'm leaping out, like some of the flames come with me and form into a sort of like a solid fiery blade. Like it's shaped
Nice.
like a blade, but it's still like clearly the flames are rippling like within that form.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come out. Got that. You're suddenly in the middle of them. We'll give you another die for that. So that's what, 4 against 2?
Yes. Come on, money, money, money. Jesus. All right, I'm gonna spend more than 1 moxie at a time.
Yes, you can. So
Oh,
you
I guess
could,
I only need to spend 1.
yeah, you can take it to a partial success by,
Yeah, I'll take it to a partial success.
okay.
I can't just,
Uh,
I don't mind always. I don't mind failing a lot
yeah. Uh,
or missing.
so I think you will get in the middle of them, and I think you will drop like a couple of these faceless, but I think that there are still a couple up, and the lieutenant kind of turns to face you and uh, uh, draws out a switchblade that hums with power, and faces you down, and says, "Oh, you're not in a skyship right now. You're on good, clean, solid work steel, and I'm going to show you what that's like."
You brought a knife to a sword fight.
That is also a point. And he will face down with you. So we got, and he's got some backup there right now, but you're out of the fire. You're over by them. You've taken out a couple, but not as many as you hope to.
I am the fire.
Cricket. Muted.
Right. Okay, so I've got the gun arm.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what's the bartender doing at this point? We've had the automaton like crash behind the bar and then stop fighting.
It looks like the bartender is actually going to try and get that cube.
Ah, okay. Um, oh. All right. I think I think I'm going to shoot the bartender.
Okay.
Get that gun.
All right.
I think I need to stop him from getting the cube. No need to like. I'm not shooting to kill here. Just like trying to take him out of the picture.
The cinematic winging them in the shoulder
Exactly. Yes.
of these kinds of stories. That seems fair. So base of an action die. Which of your trademarks do you think is applicable for this? Is this a gadgeteer?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think getting the gun, firing the automaton's gun. It's not like it's gonna have a trigger on it, right? Like it's gonna be internal. I gotta jigger the mechanism a little bit.
Right.
Um,
So one for that, one for gadgeteer, one for Nova having supplied you with an item here. I don't think there's anything in terms of position. I do think that there's still 1 die of danger from him generally.
sure.
So let's say 3 against 1.
All right. It's a 6.
That is a 6. So he is reaching for that glass-faced cabinet, and you get that little bit inside this thing and pull it, and that boom, the handgun literally hits him. He'll and stagger back away from there, and maybe dive back in case there are more shots coming from that. Nova. The automatons have both stopped. Dahlia's in the midst of the Belafonte boys. Cricket has pushed the bartender off. What do you want to do?
Oh, there's so much going on.
And the
Am
room
I
is on fire still.
and everything's on fire. I think I want to try to grab the cube. Is it far away from me?
I think you can easily take an action and move. So if you want to hop the bar and get there, you can easily do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Are you grabbing the case? Are you shattering it and reaching in and grabbing the cube? What do you think you're doing?
I'm gonna shatter it.
Okay.
Like I think I jump over the bar and I'm like gonna punch it.
Okay. There's one danger die here for potential booby trap on the device itself. What do you want to roll this with?
Just my thumper.
Okay. So one die base, one die for your thumper. Is this your scrapper?
Let's see. The
The trademarks are so broad, you should always take a trademark if it vaguely helps.
okay. I'm gonna say yes.
Okay.
And I've probably done this kind of job before.
Yeah.
So yeah. That's 3.
3 against 1.
Okay. Ooh.
So
Partial.
that is a 4. So I think you will get a hold of this cube, but as you're holding it, you realize that it's not just a cube, it's like crackling with some energy. And see maybe the fractal flickers of some pattern energy around the cube. Like you want to be careful with this because it might go up. You've already punched it a little, and that seems to have maybe made things a little worse. Does that seem fair?
Yeah.
Okay, but you have a hold of it. Mo, the collector has had his automaton stand down. You've still got your finger in his back. You see Cricket drive off the bartender. Nova leaps the bar, grabs the cube, but Dahlia is on a showdown with this lieutenant from the Belafontes, and there's some of his triggermen there as well.
Hmm. I mean, I think it's heading for the balcony is the escape route.
Okay. So you want to secure that or do
I'm
something else? What
wondering.
do you want?
Sorry, I'm just like looking at all my abilities. Can I make a mastermind plan to get us all out the balcony?
Yeah.
Try to.
Tell
I
me
think
what the plan is. We'll do it like
I
a
think-
Blades
well,
in the
I think-
Dark flashback.
Yeah, I
Like,
think
what have you
I
got
think
set
I
up?
think I see the fish tank. I see the flames blocking our path. I see the balcony, and Genius Mo is formulating a plan to that. I guess Nova's our best bet for smashing a fish tank.
So
And
what are
he
you
just
telling
shot-
Nova to
so I'm
do?
just shouting, Nova, smash the tank, clear our path to the balcony, and let's get out of here.
Yeah. What is that on screen? Is it like a Sherlock Holmes visualization of the thing, or is it?
Yeah,
What do you
probably,
get?
yeah. He's just putting the pieces together, and yeah.
Okay. So he shout that, and I think the collector is still kind of, grumbling there in front of you. But yeah, you can I think that doesn't need a roll. It's an action you do to set that plan up. Dahlia. This guy has this knife, got a little electrical charge on it. He is facing down with you. But you also see what's going on over there.
Sorry, something popped up, a brief distraction. Sorry, could you repeat that?
So you are facing down with this lieutenant from the Belafontes. He's got his
Right,
electro
duh,
knife
of
out.
course.
He's got a
Yeah, I
couple
think like as
triggermen
we're like
behind him.
blade to blade, we're like pressing in and they're forming like a circle around or semicircle because there's fire.
Mhm.
I think like, as And it's a Delafante, right? Does he have a first name? Do we establish that?
Gregor
Gregor.
Belafonte.
Gregor, we could keep fighting over this as the fire rages, or we could come to an arrangement, and you can go your separate ways, and I can make this up to you. This is
Interesting.
better plan, yeah? Da. Do people not want me to do a bad Russian accent? 'Cause
I
if
think
not,
it's
okay,
for me it's fine.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
I
It's
mean, most, yeah, Russians are
fully
mostly
cinematic.
white, so
Yeah. Uh let's
I'm going
say
for charming seduction.
okay. So
And
charming
with a winning
seduction.
smile.
Okay, so you'll get to re-roll a die. So right now we're at 1, 2, 3 dice. I think we're still in a fighting situation, so I think it is 3-2.
Can I tag Fractal Blade again? And spend that moxie because I don't know what that means. Taking
Uh,
advantage this second time.
What that would do is give somebody else the fractal blade as well.
Oh, I can just like
Yeah.
toss it to people.
Yeah, you could also give them the ability. Here's actually a thing I'll say. We talked about leveraging your diplomatic immunity
Oh yeah.
as a
You can
thief thing.
exploit this.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's give you another die for that. So let's say
Okay.
4-2,
All
and you're
right.
going to get a reroll.
Cool. All right, yeah, that's just 6.
Yeah, you don't.
I mean, I don't need to re-roll.
Right.
Well, I will though.
Yeah,
Why not? Because I can, right?
yeah, you can roll another die. Just one action die to 0, and if you get another 6, then
Yeah, that's the thing, basically.
yeah.
Oh,
Ooh.
You see him. He doesn't just back off. He's like, okay, okay. And the triggerman who might have been like upset with this will fall back and uh he'll step back uh uh and he grabs the shutter on the door here as he backs out of the club, and he will roll that down, and he will say, well, if you make it out of here, we'll chat. Nice. Uh, uh, Cricket. Looks like the Belafontes are off the table. Automatons. The room is on fire. So, how do you want to play this? You see that Nova has the cube.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's heard Mo's suggestion to Nova, so he's gonna holler, Nova, give me the cube before you break it, and go deal with that fish tag. And then he's gonna try and make for the get ready to make for the exit, basically.
Okay. Nova?
Yeah, I am going to like run over to the fish tank and sort of like toss the cube at Cricket a little bit, maybe carelessly. And then like go and break the fish tank. I don't know if that is a roll.
I don't know. I don't think this is a roll. I think we're out of like the combat sequence. Tell me
Okay.
what that looks like. How does that enormous, absurdly large fish tank with venomous fish in it? How does that take care of the fire here? Like what do we see happen on screen?
Well, I punch a giant hole, or I think the whole thing just shatters as I punch it.
Mhm.
All the water comes spilling out. There's venomous fish though, you said?
Oh, of course. Of course.
Yeah, so Nova didn't know that.
Yeah.
So I think I'm getting bit by fish, and I'm just like, what? But it's not that bad because it's mostly metal anyway.
Yeah, they're trying to bite at you, and the stingers, and you probably got some of those pufferfish stingers sticking out of the metal of your arm there. Fire goes out. I think that that close that out. The balcony is there. Tell me, Mo, now that Nova has done this, Cricket's got the cube, Dolly has dealt with the Belafontes. Like, what is it that you set up to get out of here? Is it a crane? Is it a plane? Is it a ladder? Like, what's the escape route that you planned for?
Oh, No, I think. Yeah, we just had there must just be some truck that
Okay.
has pulled up underneath that we go
All right.
just water sliding down and falling
Perfect.
into the back of. Yeah.
Yeah. Out to the balcony, and I think we'll see the four of you heading out. Drop down into the back of the truck that you've arranged. You got the cube in hand. It's still sparking a little, and I think we'll see the truck pull away into the night. And we'll kind of do that sort of wipe cut to a study where we will see it's beautifully appointed, and we'll see our patron, Ocean Ha. She is seated there behind her desk. She's examining the cube. Her butler has brought out towels for all of you. And she said, excellent. I will get this into the hands of people who can actually put it to use for the populace rather than in the hands of arcano collectors. Were there any problems? She says, kind of looking around at a little bedraggled all of you.
Yep. Was walk of cake.
Excellent. Excellent.
Dumb. This is the cakewalk.
Yes. Yes.
And look what I have for dinner. And I hold up a bunch of puffer fish.
Oh. She says, you might be careful with that, Nova. I'm not sure those are entirely edible.
They're a delicacy up in the city.
So be it.
That means we can sell it for a good price, you know?
And I think she'll say, I'm glad you're here, though, because I have another task that is a little timely. And we're going to take our second break here, and we're going to come back with our patron, who's going to tell you what the job is. So take 5, and we'll come back. So in the NPC tab, there I have a picture of your patron, Ocean Ha. And she is a society person who has kind of made it her mission to use her family's money to help people out. And she's still a little practical, so she isn't entirely selfless, but she does good generally, and she has been a decent patron for you. Nova, what's the connection between her family and your, family from before?
I think they are related, like they are family.
Okay.
But she doesn't know that I am one of them.
Okay. So there is a connection. You're aware of the blood, but she may not be aware of that.
Yeah.
Okay. And Mo, how did you end up in Ocean's circles? What happened to cause that?
When I was working for someone else, how was she connected to it? I mean, I think it was one of those situations where Mo was digging around past what he was hired to do, and yeah, must have uncovered something that Oceana's some illegal activity that she was up to. And then he never. She was expecting, some kind of blowback, some consequences, and realized that they never came, and that he just kept it to himself.
She appreciated your discretion. She appreciated that you realized that what she was doing, while it was not on the right side of the law necessarily, was for some people's benefit. And she took you on from there. Dahlia, you knew Ocean before you came to Tomorrow City. What was the context of that?
Hmm. I think we actually robbed her family once.
Okay.
Yeah. And luckily her parents don't really remember that horrible ordeal. They put it behind them.
Right.
She does, and
The sky piracy and so
yeah,
on.
yeah. And so like I'm under disguise as her chauffeur, sky air chauffeur.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. She has you in that household work for that. Uh, Cricket, how did you get involved with Ocean? How did you cross paths with her?
Yeah. I think that I think Cricket may have been sort of a, you know, she's has been trying to, you know, she's like, her goal is to help those who are underserved, and I think Cricket is one of those, and he may have caught her eye during that because he like uh picked something off of her person or off of one of
Mm-hmm.
her bodyguards, mostly just out of curiosity for, you know, what she had, and she, you know, sort of, I think, decided that he might be useful in further endeavors.
Admired your skill. You were a little smarter than you let on. And so she brought you into this team. She will say, so I have some friends who are amongst the term that's used is revolutionists. I prefer to think of them as public activists. Uh, they have a situation. They have been utilizing a contact in the Ministry of Agriculture. And for various reasons, this person has been cooking the books for them regarding one of the great agricultural hothouses on the rim side of the city. Essentially, so that my friends can make off with some materials and distribute that on the underside. However, uh, there was a recent audit by the Ministry of Truth, and their contact, one Mr. Ratsebo, uh, uh, was arrested. He is right now being held at a small midtown detention facility. And tomorrow he's going to be transported to the courthouse via dirigible. We do not wish this to happen. I have said that I would help out. Given that Mr. Ratsebo has been an asset and a friend to this group, they refer him to be alive. So there are certain methods that are off the table. But we need Mr. Ratsebo extricated, and we need him taken to a particular location on, let us say, one of the sketchier neighborhoods, and delivered there without being followed. How you choose to do that is entirely in your hands. Once he gets to the courthouse, I would suggest you not handle things there, given how tight security and how dangerous a place that will be. I'm hoping that you will be able to take care of the situation before he gets there. Is this a reasonable request of all of you?
I see no problem with attacking dirigible
If
and
that is,
breaking someone free.
if that is the tactic that you wish to do, that is certainly a way to do it. But I will leave it in all of your capable hands. Should you need some additional resources, come to me and for equipment or whatnot, and she'll kind of dismiss you so that you all can go out into the reception room. The butler comes with coffee, and you can talk about how you plan to do this. And this is one of those things where we have a task, kind of leave it open-ended on how you want to approach this. This is kind of our in the meta, talking with characters, figuring things out, trying to come up with a plan here. So Dahlia, if this conversation starts with you at this meeting, what are you saying to the group here?
Well, obviously we should get playing a heist. Extraction, aerial extraction, very easy.
I mean,
Barely inconvenience.
I like the fact we'll be removed from reinforcements on their side, but getting ourselves there, that seems to be the trick, right?
We need plan.
Do we know where he's being kept?
Yes, you
Before-
have the location of the detention facility. You have the route that the dirigible will take, and you know the timetable of the travel.
Okay, I've decided that my character, the way she got super injured was that she fell from a great height
Oh,
out of
Oh
a plane.
no.
So that's gonna be yes.
you're gonna add that in as a flaw?
I guess so. It's like part of a different flaw. I think I
Yeah.
already
Oh, you
have
can change it around. I'm
Night,
good with that.
part
Yeah.
of Nightmares and
Oh,
Weirdness.
nightmares and
Yeah,
weird. Yeah,
yeah.
I'll put like specifically to do with heights.
Okay.
Daughter, you are breaking my heart.
Do we know how many people will be with him on that dirigible? Like if we're fighting our way in,
We
there's
know how
only
many
4 of
people.
us.
Yes, we know how many people we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Let's what are you doing to find that out, Cricket?
Yeah, so I think probably the thing I think Cricket would probably be going to his network of urchins.
Okay.
Maybe see if someone has, like if they know where the detention center is, if these presumably prisoner transports are not that uncommon from it.
Sure.
So someone must have seen something, the people going in and out of the ship, the people going in and out of the detention center. Like we must have some sense of how many people are involved from that.
Absolutely. So that feels like your riffraff
Yeah.
plus your base die. You're going to get mastery from the filthy urchins, which is a weird phrase to say, but I like saying it. Let's have you roll. I think that's just 2 dice and 0 on the danger.
All right. I can't subtract danger dice, so we'll ignore the we'll ignore the 5. It wouldn't let me. Oh, maybe I can.
Yeah, I think it doesn't.
It won't let me go to
Let
0
you.
on
Oh,
danger
okay.
dice.
Oops.
So I rolled a 5 and a 3.
Rolled a 5 and a 3. So we got a partial success. So what you will know is
Can I will re-roll
the
the
3.
3.
That makes
Yes.
sense.
Do you want to
I got a
spend the
5.
moxie and make the 5 a 6?
No, we'll save the Moxie. I've got the mastery. I was hoping for the
Ah,
6,
the
but
master. Yeah, gotcha.
I'll take a I'll
Double
take
five.
take a partial. Yeah.
So here's what you know about these prisoner transports. They may have some, it may not, this person may not be the only person being transported. So there may be a couple, others, but it won't be more than one or two. It's got machine guns as a basic external armament, and the crew complement is 4 people. Essentially, you got a pilot, a co-pilot, and 2 badges. Does that feel like fair but incomplete information?
Yeah, that seems good.
Okay.
All right, so that gives us,
You say
it-
there's only 4? This is a breeze. I expected 20. It's like they are asking to be broken out.
Mo, what's your thoughts on this? What is your plan here?
Yes, Mo. Yeah,
Four,
what are you thinking? You
four
are
isn't four is encouraging, but we've only got one pirate. I've never boarded a Zeppelin mid-flight.
you are a thief now, so the only difference is doing it in sky.
Yeah, that's a bit of a critical difference for me.
Yeah.
Imagine it like jumping out the balcony, just higher up.
Yeah, I get the higher up is sort of the whole crux of the problem for me.
Nova?
How are we even gonna get a plane?
Ah, that's
There's
I think I can get this point.
damn.
Nova, darling, I understand your worry, your apprehensions. But the only way to conquer your fears is to face them head on.
Look,
That
Dahlia,
is what I hear.
I'm sure you can get us to the plane. Get us there. I can get something. I can take the first jump.
No. I think they probably have docking. Zeppelins generally have docks.
Okay. I mean, I sort of figured we would need to like, they wouldn't. They're probably not going to take kindly to us docking. On the go. So I sort of assumed
that seems like a reasonable assumption.
Yeah, I think that's
yeah,
where
but that's
that's
very
where the
good.
machine guns come in.
So I can take the first jump, and then we can rig something up so that the rest of you can get on the get over to the dirigible with a little more security.
I like that.
Mhm.
I like that.
Yes, we attach line, hook it to dirigible.
Yeah.
Although, so wait, dirigible like Zeppelin or like actually suspended from a balloon?
It is a suspended from a balloon type a gondola thing
Okay.
attached to the bottom of this.
All right, so you don't want to jump on top of the balloon.
No, not on the balloon. No, into the onto like, I don't know.
All right, is more difficult maneuver, but I think I can handle. I still prefer the dock, but after I blow up machine guns, of course.
So this does come. This does present a crux here, Dahlia. How are you going to get a flying apparatus?
Look,
And what kind of flying apparatus are you going to get?
well, we're gonna need enough room for 5. Obviously, I'm still thinking biplane type stuff because that's the frame of reference I'm still stuck
Oh
in.
yeah, no, I think that's fine. But a 5-person biplane
Safety
or
harnesses and cables that connect you, and you have to stand. Look, stand on the wings. not hard. It's super.
Here's the other thing: is the dirigible is not going particularly fast,
Right.
and any kind of plane that you have is going to go much faster than that dirigible too, making for an additional layer of complexity.
Now, we don't necessarily need to have a space for 5 because we can just we're probably going to have to subdue everyone in the dirigible anyway to get this to.
The problem, I think I understand where you're going, but then you would try to be escaping in a slow-moving dirigible.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point. That's a fair point.
Now
So-
they might have a backup plane attached to their gondola. We don't know.
Like, what if the plane just kind of hooks this balloon, drags it to a rooftop where the rest of us are waiting, something like that.
Oh.
I mean, if you want to live a life without adventure, I suppose I could work. But I think Dolly's going to try to get to work on acquiring the plane.
Okay.
It's gonna need forward-facing machine gun.
So,
and at least a 2-seater.
okay. So you want a 2-seater plane armed with machine guns that someone is willing to hand off to you here.
I mean,
put at your service. So tell me, who is it that you go to strike this deal?
Well, I mean, oh yeah, there's actually NPCs. I can look at them. Esmeralda Webb, of course.
Okay. So Esmeralda Webb,
Yeah, she's like the head,
runs,
like the under, but like she's got some sway and some hangers because she's oversees a bunch of mechanics.
Okay.
Mechanics.
Chop
shop, basically. Lots of chop shops.
Okay, yeah. You go down to her. We see that shot of the essentially the equivalent of the chop shop, but we've got like planes and stuff and gyrocopters being cut up, and you will.
I probably brought her more than a few.
Okay. And she will say, "Is this a plane I'm going to get back? Or is this a plane that I'm not going to want to have back?"
It is a plane you will have to chop up. This is reusing and recycling.
And should I ask about why you need this kind of plane?
I think we both know that you probably don't want to know.
I see. So
we both work in
yes,
lack of the what's it called? Deniability or something?
Yeah, plausible deniability.
Plausible
deniability.
All right. I was having trouble figuring the words. Right?
So what do you want to roll this with to convince? We'll see what the costs potentially are here.
See.
Oh, do we have money?
Yeah,
so
we got cred.
So you have cred. So basically, cred allows you to buy gear like guns and armor and things like that. And I did put a link on the safety and resource tab to the cred sheet there. Basically, you can buy anything that costs like your cred value or less, but then your cred kind of ticks down until it recovers. So you could buy a 3 thing if you have 3 cred and so on.
Esmeralda, I think we can work a very suitable arrangement. I mean, I brought you many planes in past, and I know you've been putting out feelers for help for upcoming job. And look, you know a better pilot that's willing to take such risks.
Fair enough.
So I think I'm going with Windborne pilot.
Yeah.
And winning smile advantage.
And I think
diplomatic immunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 4 dice. You're gonna get a reroll
One, two.
I think there's one
Isn't
die
that 5
against-
dice?
Yeah, actually, I think you're
One
right.
for doing it. Trademark, pilot. 2 advantages.
Yeah.
No, winning
well,
smile
what
doesn't give you a die.
gives you
Right?
master, it gives you a reroll.
Okay, so 4 with a
Yeah.
reroll.
So it's 4 dice.
Sure.
One danger die, just because there's always a chance you get sold out.
Of course, of course. This is well,
It's a
I'm going to
success.
spend a moxie to lower the danger die to a 5.
Okay. Yeah. And do you want to reroll one of the 1s or 3s?
Oh, can you get more than 1 boon?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I'll just no. All right.
Ah,
I still got a boon. Still pretty good.
Okay. She says, okay, I can lend you a plane. I can get that set for you. It'll have the guns that you need and the second seat.
Oh, ooh. How's this for an idea?
Sure.
Uh, she already has a favor lined up, and it's somebody else that's going to be on this transport.
She says, there is, I have heard maybe what you might be involved in. And if you are going to do that, there is a friend who is also locked up there. Who
Can it be a person
who do you want it to be?
that sold me out?
Okay. Yeah. Let's say she'll say now. Your old friend Isura Prothero is on board. I do need her alive. But you'll be paid handsomely if you can put her in my hands. Now, money may not matter much to you, so I just put that out there as a 50-50 option, whether I'll see this person alive or dead, right?
I think it's also. I don't. I only need to deliver her to you alive. Things that happen later on. Fair game, right?
That seems fair.
Okay. This is.
Let me
You-
cut to the others. Let me check in. Nova, like, what are you doing to set up or help out with this plan, or to prepare yourself, or whatnot?
I was looking through gear
Mhm.
right now. Feel like I would want to, I don't know, like get like some kind of personal parachute or something.
You can, yeah. You could actually get armor, and for an extra cred, you can have a parachute put in it.
Okay. Um, rocket pack. That's fun. Maybe I could get a rocket pack. That has a parachute built in,
That's
and that is, yeah.
fly, noisy, absolutely. So who do you go to get this rocket pack? Like, are you going to higher end dealers, or are you going to your friend who did the work on you, or are you going to like the black market to get a black market rocket pack and parachute? Yeah, it'll work.
I think I might go to the person who built my body.
Okay, absolutely. Why don't you pick an NPC from the NPC tab?
Let's do Montrose Haberly.
Okay. He will see you. Ah, Nova, I heard you were involved in a scuffle at Club Orchid.
Yeah, nothing too out of the ordinary. It's a piece of cake.
Hmm. Yes, well, it certainly riled up the collector and the Belafontes.
Well, they wait, we never mind.
But
Whatever.
if you, I'll take that cut of whatever you were paid for that.
Right. Okay. Uh, so I hand him over like a bag of money, I guess.
Yeah. What does money look like in this? I don't know if he's established it. Is it cash? Is it
No.
coins? Is it creds? Is it something else?
I was envisioning some kind of like not quite coins, but like chips kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like weird multicolored chips. He'll kind of so why are you here? Normally I have to chase you down for a payment. But here you are darkening my doorstep.
Well, so the thing is, our next mission, we actually have to go up in the air.
Your
And
favorite.
yeah. You know, Dahlia says that I need to conquer my fear, so who knows? Um,
Not entirely certain you should be taking life advice from the Sky Pirate, but fair enough.
well, she's lived way more years than me, and
She is old.
kinda, but you know, I
So
like that.
what is it that you need?
Um, right. So we're gonna be up in the air, and I don't want what happened to me during the war to happen again.
That would be hard to
So
fix.
yeah, I'd have to owe you so much more. Um, so I was thinking that maybe you could build a rocket pack. Was it called a rocket pack? A rocket pack. Um, into me with a parachute. Um, yeah.
I can certainly get a rocket pack that will clamp onto your ports, so to speak, on the back and this be useful. Yeah, I could do that. And what precisely is it that's in it for me?
Well, my never-ending debt. Uh, plus you wouldn't want me to fall off and, get destroyed. It's in your best interest.
That is true. What do you want to roll this with, Nova?
Hmm.
Well, I guess this is actually just fine credit equipment, so I don't think you need to roll now that I think about it. He will say,
Okay.
all right, but I want this back intact. Do not do not wish to have this lost. So yes, I can have it for you. I assume you need it right away.
Yep, as soon as possible.
All right. Well, uh, wait there and he'll go back into his workshop, and you probably see he's working on a couple of other people back there. Uh, I think we see the mad science lab kind of thing. And he will go and he will bring you a dented rocket pack that doesn't look great. But he'll say, I've got a parachute in there now for you. This should be good. Let me show you how to strap that on. And he'll,
Is this
he'll
really gonna work? It, uh, I don't know.
everything in life is a gamble, but you are an investment. I wouldn't give you something that I thought wouldn't work.
Well, thank you very much, I suppose.
Yes, yes, you're more than welcome. I'm always glad to hear your gratitude.
Yeah. So she kind of like rumbling kind of takes it. Yeah, I'll keep you posted.
Okay. And he sits down, does the villain fingers together as you leave, bites on an apple, and sets it down, just to cement that image. Mo, is there anything that you are doing in terms of prep, research, getting ready for this job?
Oh. Mm. Yes. I mean, what I'd really like is like someone who used to work on one of these transport ships, or like some info about
Yeah,
how we're gonna actually get him, out of whatever he's locked into and out of there quickly. Because
sure.
just
You want to find somebody who
as
used
soon
to.
as we start messing
Yeah.
with this thing, like we gotta the clock is ticking, so we need to do this quickly.
What do you want to roll for tracking down someone who has the info you need?
Um,
Feels like gumshoe.
Gumshoe. Yes, I can go ahead and check investigate.
That seems good. That's 3 dice.
Okay.
Let's just have you roll 3 dice. So that is a 4. So what is it that you're most interested in? Is it figuring out about like how they secure these people? Is it about like how they're armed, the procedures? Like what is it you really want to know?
Yeah, it's I don't want us to get in there, disable the guards, and then he's like strapped in with some kind of restraint that like we need an arc welder in 20 minutes to burn through to get him, out of there. That I don't want it
Yeah.
in the middle of this to get surprised
Oh
by
yeah.
something and we're stuck and we're screwed.
Yeah. So you'll talk to somebody. They talk essentially to a kind of a locksmith guy who has done some work there, and he will tell you, oh yeah, they use hand bracers, but because they don't want the people to move around, they're mag locked to the chair, the seat that they've got them in. So you're going to need to either short that out or have another counter magnet to negate that. Uh, once you got that off, it's no problem popping the handcuffs off, but they're going to be stuck to the seat until you do that. To say, uh, like, have you been in one of those gondolas?
No.
Oh, not much room to move around. Just telling you that. Like, it's gonna be tight quarters in there.
Okay. Good to know.
Does that feel like oh yeah, and actually you can actually re-roll one of those dice for your mastery, as Dahlia pointed out.
Okay.
Always worth a shot though. So we got some pieces in place here. Kale had to step away for his kids, but we'll definitely start with him for the next time. We'll do at the start of next time a chance to do some more setup in case like figuring out where you're going to do this, like figuring out what the route to the place you need to drop them off is, all of that kind of stuff. We can figure that out before we carry out the operation next time. Does that seem cool? I would like to do just a quick stars and wishes. Stars being things that you dug about play, about game, characters, and wishes being like if there's a thing you really want to see happen in the second half of this, then tell me and I will do my level best to make that an element here. So Dahlia, can I start with you?
Sure can. Big stars to everyone. Love all these characters. And lol, you're explaining the game great, and mechanics are pretty simple.
Mhm.
Looks character sheet looks complex, but it's not.
Mhm.
So, wishes. I would like to have a fun scene with like Nova, with like playing off like the sort of like pseudo mom look up to criminal mom mentor.
Yeah.
Like, some character bonding scenes.
Yeah, let's make sure we get some RP, some role play scenes here
Yeah.
before we carry out the mission. I think that's a really
Yeah.
good point. Yeah. Awesome. Nova.
Stars. I really liked the action scene that we had. It was super fun. Yeah, I like all the characters and I love the world or like the vibe. It's very like arcane, that show.
Yes, thank you. That was another one I was trying to remember what it was like. That's a great touchstone.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen that yet.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, I keep just forgetting. I got a month off, so I can watch it now.
Oh, yeah. What else? Yeah. I think a scene with Dahlia and me would be really cool. Looking forward to some good like action scenes in the air with Nova being super scared the whole time as well.
Okay, awesome. And Mo.
Yeah, yeah, stars all around, great, good characters, and really interesting setting, and yeah, had a good time. No particular wishes for next time.
Okay.
I'm ready for whatever.
Excellent. And I will email Kale and check in with him about that and get confirmation. I am going to stop the recording